Welcome to the episode on Jupiter transiting the sign Cancer from June 9th, 2025 through June 30th, 2026. I'm going to explain what this means for all of us. As Jupiter transits Cancer, the sign of its exaltation, we'll be feeling big shifts of energy when jovial giant Jupiter opens up new portals and potentials. So stay tuned. Welcome to the episode when Jill Jardine, astrologer, explains the importance of Jupiter transiting into Cancer. It's a big deal astrologically because Jupiter is considered the most benefic planet in astrology, also known as the Guru in Vedic astrology, and referred to as the cosmic Santa Claus in Western astrology. And here comes that Jupiterian joy, bringing gifts of wisdom and spiritual unfoldment. Giant Jupiter is in jubilation in his sign of exaltation. In modern astrology, Jupiter is given rulership of the sign Sagittarius, symbolized by the centaur, shooting his arrows of hope and expansion toward the brighter future. Jupiter in Cancer transit has special significance because the jovial giant is exalted in Cancer. Jupiter covers the sign of Cancer in one big swoop without ever retrograding out of the sign. And Jupiter will travel through Cancer from June 9th, 2025 to June 30th, 2026. Jupiter will retrograde in the sign of Cancer from November 11th, 2025 to March 10th, 2026. And then Jupiter leaves Cancer on June 30th, 2026, not to return again until 2037. So, when was Jupiter in Cancer in the past? The most recent was from June 25th, 2013 to July 16th, 2014. Before that, Jupiter transited Cancer from July 12th, 2001 through August 1st, 2002. Jupiter was in Cancer from July 30th, 1989 to August 18th, 1990. Jupiter transited Cancer from August 20th, 1977 to December 30th, 1977, then from April 11th, 1978 to September 5th, 1978, and February 28th, 1979 to April 20th, 1979. Jupiter was in Cancer from September 21st, 1965 to November 16th, 1965, then from May 5th, 1966 to September 27th, 1966, and January 15th, 1967 to May 23rd, 1967. So I ask you to think back to those dates. Basically June 2013 to July 2014, the most recent. And then before that, July 12th, 2001 through August 1st, 2002. So think about what you might have been doing in your life during that. You're going to be experiencing Jupiter coming back to the same position. So if it was a good time, guess what? You're due for another good time. Also, with the dates of July 1989 through August 90, and the earlier dates in 1977, 78, 79, 65, 66, 67. If you were born during those dates, you're having your Jupiter return, which is considered lucky. So this time, though, Jupiter transiting through Cancer for the next year will facilitate healing and personal growth, emotional well-being, and creating comfort in your life can be enhanced if attention is put there. Cancer is a water sign, which activates intuition and creativity. This transit can bring positive changes in relationships, leading to new connections, deeper bonds, and a greater sense of understanding. Cancer rules the home and family, so this is an area of life which can be optimized to create more stability and security. Spending time with family and relatives is a natural inclination of Jupiter in Cancer. Jupiter's influence can lead to an increase in financial stability and a greater focus on building a secure financial or economic future. But that only works if one resists Jupiter's tendency to overspend or overindulge. Economic discipline is required. However, with Saturn, the planet of discipline and restraint, currently transiting through Aries, throwing a square to Jupiter in the summer of 2025, that will keep it in check. But once Saturn leaves that square and moves forward, Jupiter may be impulsive and overextend. When Jupiter is in Cancer, it's crucial to prioritize your health, as this energy can make individuals more vulnerable to certain health or medical issues. There can be relationship challenges as well if people think they aren't being nurtured or listened to in a relationship. People might indulge in extramarital affairs or seek more than one partnership with Jupiter in Cancer. There is a tendency to self-indulgence in general with Jupiter transiting Cancer. Jupiter's visit to Cancer increases the attention regarding all matters pertaining to this sign's archetype, including home, family, roots, ancestry, legacies of the past, self-preservation, vulnerabilities, origin issues, infants, the inner child, real estate, land holdings, food, shelter, nurturing, comfort zones, vulnerabilities, and things pertaining to personal, domestic, and national safety and security. And as I said, think back to previous transits, specifically the one that happened from July 2013 through July 2014. What was happening nationally that may have been affecting the security of your country? What was happening in your life? Where were you living? Because Cancer is the sign of home and family. What was happening? Any major family transitions? And then think back to the second half of 2001 and second half of 2002. Well, we really had a threat to national security in the United States. That's when 9/11 happened, smack in the middle of the Jupiter through Cancer transit in 2001 through 2002. So it'll be interesting to see what plays out. To understand what this means to have Jupiter transiting Cancer, I'm going to share the importance of the planet Jupiter in astrology. Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system, and in astrology is known as the Great Benefic and the Expander. It is generally agreed upon by astrologers that any Jupiter transit to your natal birth chart will be a good transit. So this is where you have to consult your astrologer, because I read the dates of when Jupiter was previously in the sign Cancer, but you may have other planets there, for instance, Venus or Mars, or even if you're a sun sign Cancer, this is a good cycle for you. So it's good to get an astrology reading to find out. Cancer may also rule important points in your chart, such as your ascendant, where what your rising sign is, or it could rule your midheaven, which has to do with your dharma, your professional life. So it's very, very good to know. And also the descendant, which rules relationships. So check out JillJardineAstrology.com to book your reading. I like to refer to Jupiter as the cosmic Santa Claus, or bestowing the Midas touch, because wherever Jupiter transits, it will bestow blessings. So that's why it's important to know where it is transiting through your natal birth chart. If you want more prosperity, it can bring you abundance. If you want more children, Jupiter will bring you children. Jupiter brings expansion, happiness, and higher knowledge. Jupiter does things on a big scale. Therefore, it always gives a lot. This can be for better or for worse. Remember, expansion can sometimes be too fast or in the wrong places. For example, I always warn my clients when they have Jupiter going over their ascendant or their sun or moon in their natal chart to be careful not to overindulge, or they may gain weight and or more debt. So Jupiter can make one too optimistic and expand too fast. And like a bubble being blown up with too much helium, it will pop. Jupiter will certainly bring us prosperity if we focus on it, and it is affecting your natal chart in a good way. Some of the positive Jupiter attributes are aspiration, generosity, benevolence, confidence, reverence, charitableness, and kindness. Jupiter has negative sides, including extravagance, indulgence, fanaticism, bigotry, pompousness, impracticability, and gullibility. We've seen some of that going on nationally in the United States. So let's look at the sign of Cancer to understand how, when Jupiter is in Cancer, certain aspects will be activated. Jupiter in Cancer is activating a water sign, and it can enhance our intuition, imagination, and compassion, and thus bring good luck and meaningful life experience when we activate our intuitive and imaginative faculties. Acts of kindness and supporting others can benefit everybody involved. When Jupiter is in Cancer, when we are empathetic, nurturing, charitable, and protective, we will benefit. Emotional intelligence will offer comfort and provide a sense of security to self and others. Jupiter exalted in Cancer will help with making more prosperous choices when it comes to real estate, culinary pursuits, maternal or domestic concerns. Those areas that call for warmth, generosity, financial savvy, emotional resilience, nurturing energy, and a blend of intuition and common sense will be favored. It's also a very good time to invest or get involved or put energy in Cancer-ruled industries, which are housing and land, food and hospitality, childcare, elder care, antiques, family enterprises, and fertility-related fields. Looking to the past for insight, whether through family roots, historical patterns, or ancestral knowledge, can yield valuable guidance. It is a good time to focus on that long-term security and emotional fulfillment. So, following your heart can be benefited at this time. And so also finding out about your past, your lineage, all of these things are natural. When Jupiter was in Gemini, it emphasized stimulation and variety. Jupiter in Cancer asks us to slow down and savor what we know, and invites us to tend to our inner temple, to cultivate comfort and containment so we can grow strong from within. So, connection to the soil or the earth and water, swimming in sacred waters, swimming just in general, the whole ability to flow through your life is emphasized at this point instead of getting stuck or distracted or being frenetic, as Jupiter and Gemini may have created the tendencies to try to do everything at once. Jupiter in Cancer switches gears so that we can connect within and follow that inner guidance and go with the flow. Very much a be here now time. It will deepen practices in space holding, creating safe containers for healing, investing in our own sanctuary out there in the world, whether it's a room in your home or a special place you can go to. This is a powerful opportunity now to strengthen our energetic boundaries while keeping our hearts open. So Jupiter in Cancer will expand those things having to do with our soul's connection to home, both physical and spiritual. Things such as real estate, food as medicine, caregiving, family traditions, healing generational patterns are all important now. So the thing to watch out, though, for with Jupiter and Cancer, people may become overly emotional. The emotions of enthusiasm, growth, optimism are all very well, but if somebody starts going down a darker path, Jupiter can expand those emotions and people may find themselves spiraling down. So again, people might have the emotional overeating, indulgence in comfort foods or drinks, over attachment to the familiar, and thus not want to have expansive other experiences, clingy behavior, excessive sentimentality, Or in the case of a country or a nation, it could become too clannish, too nationalist, creating division rather than unity. So with Cancer, we're going to see a conflict perhaps between freedom and expansion and the fear of security. And that could create some mixed messages. The higher potential with Jupiter and Cancer is to gain perspective through emotional intelligence and looking at the larger emotional and spiritual picture, rising above petty concerns. And so wherever Jupiter is transiting through your birth chart, that area will be one where you might be able to find joy, expansion, and growth. So some of the things that Jupiter and Cancer can do for us is to help with family life and living conditions. If there was a time when you were interested in investing in real estate, land, or home-related upgrades, this is a good time to do it. That includes home appliances or things that make your home more comfortable, not necessarily technical stuff. That was when Jupiter was in Gemini. Gemini is a technological. This is feel-good things like blankets, pillows, sofas, things that feel very comforting, candles, also those things that add ambiance to a home. So the Jupiter in Cancer can allow us to grow emotionally and help to heal old patterns of anxiety. So there is a focus on growth and healing. If there are issues with the stomach, breasts, mucous membranes, digestion, and fluid retention, that's all Jupiter's influence, and they could become more prominent. So digestion is a big one. And thus people may become more discriminating what they take into their body, food or drink, or anything, what they're exposed to in their environment. If there's any kind of swelling or edema, that needs to be checked out. Also digestive discomfort or bloating, and then just toxicity in the environment. The organ that Jupiter rules in Vedic astrology is the liver and gallbladder. So these are areas that could be affected during this time. So they need to be addressed as soon as something would come up. It's a favorable time for home improvements and cleaning, cooking, gardening, exploring family history, and prioritizing rest, comfort, and emotional regulation. Hey, Cosmic Scene listeners, Jill Jardine here, and I've got something out of this world to share with you. Introducing the Cosmic Tower, a revolutionary energy harmonizing device designed to uplift your space, restore vitality, and bring coherence to your life. It's like plugging into the cosmos right from your living room. These towers are transforming homes, clearing EMFs, and awakening higher frequencies. And now you can experience it for yourself. I recently received my very own Cosmic Tower, and the experience has been truly magical. I've been feeling drained from work with physical pain flaring up, but within 2 hours of setting up the tower, my energy returned, my spirit lifted, and I felt ready for life again. I am so excited to be living with the Cosmic Tower and want you to learn more about it. Check out the wellnessenterprise.com and tap into the frequency of the future. Use code COSMIC10, capital letters COSMIC 10 at checkout for 10% off your own Cosmic Tower. That's at the wellnessenterprise.com. So when Jupiter is in Cancer, remember to infuse everything you do with love. Find home within yourself. Perhaps not looking outside of your own space for comfort. Remember, it's time to come home to ourselves. Home is where the heart is, and you can be anywhere and feel that with Jupiter in Cancer. So Jupiter in Cancer will have some aspects that could be challenging. And it's good for us to know in the next year when Jupiter transits through Cancer what these dates are. So right in the beginning, on June 15th, 2025, Jupiter was squaring Saturn in Aries. And that goes on until June 18th, 2025, when Jupiter squares Neptune in Aries. And so when Jupiter squares Saturn, this can present a challenge and can be a reality check of sorts. This is a time when Saturn is laying down the law, trying to constrict things, trying to reel in those things that have been out of control. So it may also feel like a bit of a repressive time because Jupiter has just been a week into Cancer and then Saturn's smackdown happens. So it could feel frustrating. And there could be circumstances that are limited or restricted. But just know that that is temporary. Now, also, we may see during the time Saturn will square Jupiter, financial concerns can come up. Finances are up and down. And that continues when Jupiter squares Neptune. There could be some problems in the material realm for people. They may feel disillusioned or delusional during that time. And again, that's pretty much the second half of June 2025. Then in November, we hit a very nice cycle with Jupiter trines Saturn. That's a flow time. So for about a week, November 17th, leading right into the end of the month, we're going to be in a really nice flow. Jupiter from Cancer trining Saturn, who has gone back to Pisces. It's also quite a spiritual time. So that's the transit you're going to want to take advantage of. I hope you enjoyed this episode on Jupiter transiting through the sign Cancer. Remember to download, subscribe, share, and give us a 5-star review. This is Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine, sending jubilant, jovial, Jupiterian vibrations through the quantum field.